I'm going straight down after 1AR, so I'll answer his like overview right at the beginning. Then Cap with an overview, or his story materials, and whatever you're looking for. Cool. Everyone good? On grade theory, we can see the permutation is just a test competition. We're not going for it. We can see the head of the not the root cause, which means there's no impact to the permutation. Also, we can see that there's no link that we include all people. Let's want the case page first. Is all the solvency analysis is new in the 1AR, which is actually at least get some kind of justification for new twin answers. First, there's no explanation to how an valid actually breaks down the securitized logic of politics to actually solve the fear politics. All he keeps saying is that we break down and we solve the fear, means that we solve the security root cause. He's not explaining why, and how that would actually break down the institution of power is still going to be their post-war plan. The only way to actually break down these institutional powers through the criticism. We'll get to that later. Now, they cannot actually prove how they break down the institutional. Let the two AR represent how they solve securitization, why that's root cause. He does not explain any kind of root cause that security is caused for, nor does he explain any kind of impact scenarios. He does not even explain how he only says that we disrupt fear by saying they're not looking to fear. By not looking to fear, you do not disrupt the culture of fear. You just sit there and ignore the critique. Is only way to actually look at the face of the fear and actually prove fear wrong. That's what means we saw the roll about. Now, the roll about, he says the case are based off securitization. No, yeah, we'll agree with you that probably queer theory is based off securitization, but there's no impact on that too. Well, capitalism is not based off securitization. We'll get to that later. Now, Jay said that they say not force Christianity upon us. They're not understanding my argument. It's that they use the valid, the advocacy is a narrative of Christ. That they not, even though they do not force us to believe, they sit there and force us to take a direct stance that is against Christ. That doesn't sound too holy to me. It's because which means they want to go against the Bible. Now, Robert's actually really great on the fact that they go against all teaching of Christ. It's probably turns in front of first the idea of the commendative study indicates that specifically it leads to resentment from the holy community because they don't actually want you to go against Christ. Instead, they want you to preach them. They want you to preach the message of Christ. They want you to coerce you. The two is the negative kind of solve because the narrative does not actually teach you how to actually lead to change. It just to share the message. I just how the 1AR starts off saying how he solves the metaphysical death and violence, not explaining how to solve for just the same. They do this exactly the Christ message is what to share the message actually means of solving for things. They don't actually lead to change, which means they can also have this means you go negative, that they can actually solve a spillover thing. They do not answer, so they do not lead to change, means there is no risk. Now they say the inclusion of the Roman Church saw slavery. They look at the stats of power just because one church said that they are inclusive, not mean that they are not slavery. They still justify and propagate a system that literally has justified the slave front ending, justified genocide of different bodies that are they think it's different. Now they cannot spike out of they cannot spike out parts of the Christ narrative in gospel. And our specific R1 and see gospel specifically says in the gospel it justified slavery found 70 different times. Probably the reason why they still justify one instance is probably uniquely bad. That's our deep evidence affirming life does not stop. Affirming life does not actually stop slavery. It still propagates out the system that they are complacent in, which probably means that they still allow slavery to exist. Just like affirming life does not actually confront the slavery. It does not actually stop the justification of the Bible and the justification of Jesus justifying slavery. They cannot stop that. He says he was silent on the issues. That's probably exactly the point that he was silent on the issues of slavery. Probably another link to our racism argument, which probably means that they propagate out the system. Means they cannot stop back to stay enslaved because it's the free work. Probably the reason why that he was silent on it because it was free work and he did not see opposed this, which means slavery is not around. That they can see that slavery is a dual. I think this is pretty nice. He set up the 1AR by calling this specifically the slavery regime calls our Garrison 1854 says every possible even a single instance of slavery should be rejected. Its decision rule because they ever allowing one instance of slavery leads to other forms, which is going to lead to slavery. Next, our sign specifically that it produces a narrative that promotes harsher forms of violence, harsher forms of violence in the long term case. Now, racism in the D-roll in 1991 indicates specifically that it is used to actually propagate obsessive violence and lead to other forms of violence. Probably the reason why they can actually solve for fear because they still lead to the violence they critique. You good, Colin? Yeah, sure. Cap overview. Our role about us to go for the team whose methodology reflects the material conditions of the oppression. The 1AR can see this. We still access their 1AR claim because we can still break down the logic of fear. Now our methodology is superior because the framing of the conceited link materiality comes before ideology pudding. The ideology first one discussing. If you need to keep typing, you can type on this. Okay. They can only risk reinforcing the dominance putting on the first one discussing material oppression can only risk reinforcing dominant social logic. This uniquely applies to the role of the ballot being geared around the fear of politics and culture. This exemplified with the concurrent height of American capitalism and American Christianity in the 50s and 60s. Just because they say they're different does not mean their doctrine will be interpreted the same way, which means that short materials is the best method presented in this round are Lukács and in specific says in particular how understanding the material conditions uniform informs the proletariat on what is opportune time to attract. We have been able to actually see capitalism is falling in order to capitalize on an outbreak about a shift that dominant economic models. Now, even if they win, therefore, the anti-capitalist purchasing, they cannot solve back the 1AR. So that's a pretty good backlashing argument. The fact, though, for the inevitable collapse can only lead to a reinforcement of the capitalist structure than the example of the Bolshevik Revolution promoting the American Red Scar. If it weren't for that, the Great Depression could have ended up in a U.S. as a red state. I don't mean a conservative. Now they see the impact is annihilation. R1 and C, R1 and C evidence specific capitalism justifies things like oppression, justifies oppression, slavery, and genocide. Reason why it's probably going to turn the case because they cannot solve for these oppressive power structures. Now the root cause debate. This was answered the 1AR, the economic models are ultimately informed the socio-economic position that informs culture. This analysis is conceded means we solve the case of Turk's case. He's not explained by capitalism, a security logic, or by economic models or security logic. Only the two are framing now permutation. This is their only game in this much. First, our links are dishouse cross applied.
For cause debate. He says that wealth inequality is what allows for security logic.
Probably means that we should win. Now, permutation. First, our links are dishouse there. First, cross by the focus link for the overview that the app focus on ideological commitment, risk reentrenchment into the domination culture idea. That's Edward and Zarka evidence. This ultimately allows for capitalism to continue. They can see the mark quote that conceptualizes that Jesus says not to challenge the institution in favor of devotion of God. Their advocacy is to abide by the narrative of Christ. Our scriptures prove that Christ refuses interaction and investigation into institutions in favor of the focus of God. This answers back their link turn argument that this answers back the link turn, but also their linkage don't apply. Our scripture quote is found on the narrative of Christ. And second, crossed by the Rosanics link from the case that goes conceded. Our Gonzalez evidence says that they try to say that they are pre-modern, but they related to the postmodern philosophy based on the Deleuzian theory, which our evidence specifically implies fragmentation. Now next,
extend alienation, impact some more analysis.
Okay, that's fine. Capitalism produces a distance from one species being which relates to the human is creative effort assembly lines. We got cosmic assembly lines and management hierarchies distinct humans from the creative capability means they can't solve causes things like oppression because this creative capability is what creates dysfunctional life in turn. Their opposites relation to the species being is uniquely tied to causes endless forms of violence by the powers of structures. That's still conceded. The app can escape these power structures and economic models. 2 minutes.